I can't move. This could be it for me. I'm already.
Are you giving up? Are you really my son?
You're the fourth Hokage.
You've grown up, Naruto.
Naruto, my name. But how?
How? I'm the one who named you. You're my son, after all.
Your son? Then you're...
Yep, that's right.
my dad. My dad. Why?
Naruto.
Why? Why? Why would you ever put nine tails inside your own son? How could you put me through all of that? The Akatsuki are after me. I fought with them, and then I was so lonely. But I kept it inside.
Forgive me. To leave you alone all that time must have been terrible. I suppose it's little consolation for me to wear a fatherly face and apologize after putting you through all that.
Dad.
But I'm relieved.
You're relieved?
You're bearing everyone's will. And you've grown up with a good head on your shoulders, just as I'd hoped for.
Everyone's will?
Yes. Just looking at you now, I can tell. You have the will of Jiraiya-sensei, Kakashi, the third Hokage, and all the people of the village inside of you. You're carrying it well, and you're moving forward.
You think so?
You're just like I used to be.
Like you?
That's right. I was bearing the will and wishes of all sorts of people myself. I was carrying something very valuable. Just like you are now, Naruto.
Madara Uchiha. What he did to my dad.
If I said I had no regrets, it would be a lie. Because of the mask, our village was destroyed, and as a result, I left you all alone. But, to tell you the truth, at the time, I was completely content.
How come?
Because I'd managed to protect what was most important to me.
And what would that be?
What do you think? You, Naruto. You're my son. In this world, there is nothing more valuable to me and your mother. You are very special. And you're alive and well. You can't imagine how much joy that brings to your mother and me. Now, you've got so many people counting on you, and you're moving forward with a will of iron. And for that, I'm proud of you. But listen to me. Your fight still isn't over. I know you have many trials and tribulations ahead. As your father, it saddens me that I can't go through them at your side. But Naruto, I believe in you.
I'll never lose. I'll just keep moving forward, no matter what happens. I'll never give up. I never go back on my word. That's my ninja way. After all, I am your son, right?
Right. I'm leaving the rest up to you.
Dad!
I guess it's about time. My chakras run out.
What? You're going already?
Cheer up, son. I'll always be with you. Remember what I said. You have the will of many inside you.
Yeah.
I'll always be at your side. Always supporting you. Together, always. Naruto, you were born as my son.
The gate beyond reality. No one expected Boruto Uzumaki to step into the unknown realm of the Otsutsuki. Not even the gods themselves could predict what a single human, born from the legacy of two worlds, would dare to do. After years of silence, of loss, of a world trying to heal from the chaos that the Otsutsuki left behind, Boruto disappeared. No message. No trace. Only rumors whispered by the few who still believed he was alive. Some said he was training beyond dimensions. Others claimed he had lost his mind after the fall of Konoha's final protector, his father, Naruto Uzumaki. But the truth was far more terrifying. Hidden deep within the ruins of the moon's ancient temple, Boruto had found something that no mortal was meant to touch: a seal of passage, an ancient gate left behind by the primordial Otsutsuki, connected to their forbidden domain. A place not of time, nor space. A void of divine creation. The territory of the Otsutsuki gods. Legend said that whoever crossed that border would lose everything: their humanity, their memory, even their soul, becoming a vessel of something beyond comprehension. But Boruto didn't care. He wasn't seeking power. He was seeking one thing: his father. Ever since the final battle, the one that erased Naruto from existence, Boruto had carried an unbearable weight. He had seen the light vanish from his father's eyes, consumed by an Otsutsuki entity that merged into the divine void. The world believed Naruto was dead. But Boruto knew otherwise. He had seen, for a split second, before the portal closed, the outline of his father's body being pulled into the dimension of the gods. And for years, he searched. He studied the ancient tablets of the Sage of Six Paths, he learned the language of the Celestial Clan, he deciphered the coordinates carved within the 10 Tails remains. Every clue led to one forbidden truth: the Otsutsuki didn't destroy Naruto. They kept him. But why? What could a mortal represent to such divine beings? Boruto began to understand that perhaps Naruto was more than human now, that his soul, once touched by the chakra of every living being, had become something the Otsutsuki feared and desired at the same time. So, Boruto made the impossible decision. He activated his Kama once more, the cursed mark left by Momoshiki, not to unleash its power, but to reverse it. To use it as a key. With the combined energy of his own karma, the DNA remnants of his father sealed within his arm, and the chakra essence he gathered from the dimension of the 10 Tails, he forced open the gate beyond reality. The dimension trembled. 1,000 eyes awakened in the dark, watching. The sky of infinity bent, and a voice whispered, "Mortal blood cannot enter the realm of the gods." Boruto smiled faintly, his eyes glowing blue and gold. "Then it's time you meet the son of the 7th Hokage." And he stepped through the gate. What awaited him inside was unlike anything human eyes had ever seen. A realm without ground or sky, only floating shards of existence, rivers of chakra light, and the faint echo of Otsutsuki voices that spoke in thoughts, not words. It was here that Boruto realized something far greater was at play. The Otsutsuki were not extinct. They were evolving. And his father might have been the final piece they needed. To find Naruto, Boruto would have to face the truth of creation itself. Because the Otsutsuki didn't just manipulate chakra, they wrote reality. The echoes of the gods. Time had no meaning in that place. Boruto didn't know if minutes or centuries had passed since he crossed the gate. There was no air, no gravity, yet he could move. No sound, yet he could hear. It was as if the entire realm existed inside his mind, shaped by the will of the Otsutsuki who created it. He looked around, and the landscape shifted with every breath. Floating monoliths of chakra light drifted across a void that was both infinite and confined. Symbols ancient and alive burned upon their surfaces, whispering truths that no human language could express. Each monolith carried memories. Moments. Fragments of the countless worlds consumed by the Otsutsuki. Boruto saw entire civilizations rise and fall in the blink of an eye, absorbed into the endless cycle of divine evolution. He felt sick. And yet, something within that endless light called to him. A familiar energy, faint but unmistakable. His father's chakra. It pulsed softly, like a heartbeat beneath the noise of creation. Boruto closed his eyes and let the Kama guide him. His hand glowed, and his consciousness expanded beyond the physical. In the distance, beyond a veil of spiraling energy, he saw an enormous structure, a temple, larger than any mountain, shaped like the branches of the divine tree itself. It reached far into the nothingness, roots suspended in time, glowing with chakra that felt alive. And within its heart, that pulse grew stronger. Boruto took a deep breath and began to move toward it. Each step brought resistance, as if invisible hands tried to pull him back, whispering voices that sounded like his own fears. You'll never reach him, he chose to stay, he belongs to them now. Boruto clenched his fists. He had heard those voices before, not from the Otsutsuki, but from people who doubted him, from those who said he could never surpass his father. He smirked. You don't know what it means to be an Uzumaki. As he advanced, the environment began to shift violently. The air twisted into storms of chakra. Images of ancient Otsutsuki floated in the ether, pale beings with hollow eyes, murmuring in a language older than time. Their words became visions. He saw Kagaya kneeling before a being far greater than her, a figure made of pure white energy, its shape barely human. He saw Momoshiki and Ishiki kneeling in fear. And above them, the same temple that now stood before him. It was then that Boruto realized the truth, this wasn't a simple territory. This was the heart of their origin. The first dimension ever created by the Otsutsuki, a place where the very essence of chakra was born. And within that essence, something stirred. A figure suspended in light. Golden chains of chakra bound it to the core of the tree. Its energy was human, but divine. It was peaceful, yet broken. And when Boruto's eyes locked onto it, his heart stopped. Because even through the blinding light, he could see it clearly. That posture. That presence. That aura that once protected the entire world. It was Naruto Uzumaki. Boruto shouted, but no sound came out. He tried to run, but space itself folded against him. The dimension refused to let him move any closer. And that's when he heard it, a voice, distant and sorrowful, echoing directly inside his mind. Boruto, go back. Boruto froze. The voice was real. It was his father's, older, heavier, filled with pain. Father, it's me. I came to bring you home. There was silence. Then the voice returned, softer. I'm not who I was anymore, they changed me. Boruto's eyes widened. What do you mean? Who did this to you? But the light began to flicker. The form of Naruto trembled, as if it were being rewritten by the realm itself. And from the shadows behind him, figures began to emerge, tall, pale, and featureless. Otsutsuki guardians, shaped by divine energy. Boruto's Kama began to react violently, burning across his arm. For the first time, he felt the true will of the Otsutsuki, and it wasn't anger or malice. It was something worse. Curiosity. They were watching him. Studying him. Analyzing the hybrid son of a mortal who once defied their order. Boruto realized he had crossed a line no one was meant to cross. And now, even the gods wanted to understand what made the son of Naruto so dangerous. The truth of the divine code. Boruto stood motionless, his breath heavy, his heartbeat echoing through the void. The Otsutsuki forms that surrounded him were not physical. They were projections, sentient echoes of divine consciousness, older than any universe Boruto could comprehend. When they spoke, the realm itself vibrated. Their words were not sounds, they were thoughts, resonating directly within his mind. Each syllable felt like a thunderstorm of knowledge. Child of duality, why have you entered the sanctum of the divine code? Boruto clenched his jaw. I came to take my father back. A low hum echoed through the vast emptiness, a sound that was both laughter and disapproval. Your father's essence is part of the code now. To remove him would unwrite what has been written. Boruto narrowed his eyes. You talk about the code like it's a law of the universe. But all I see are parasites who feed on others to feel like gods. The light dimmed. Reality itself seemed to bend as the Otsutsuki presence grew heavier. You misunderstand our purpose, mortal hybrid. We do not consume, we preserve. Every being absorbed, every soul collected, becomes part of our eternal memory. Your father was chosen not to perish, but to ascend. The words cut through Boruto's mind like cold steel. Ascend? You call this, being trapped in a tree ascension? He carries within him the anomaly that should not exist. Chakra that touches all life. A bridge between mortality and divinity. We cannot destroy what completes us. Boruto took a step forward, ignoring the rising static around his body. So that's why you took him, because you were afraid of him. Silence. Then, one of the Otsutsuki figures, more defined than the others, emerged from the light. Its eyes glowed with pure white energy, and its body shimmered like glass. Afraid, it said calmly. No. Fascinated. It raised a hand, and countless streams of golden energy flowed from the surrounding void, shaping into visions, fragments of Naruto's memories. Boruto saw his father again, smiling, protecting the village, forgiving enemies who didn't deserve it, carrying the weight of everyone else's pain. He transcended the curse of destruction, the being continued. He defied our nature. In him, we see the potential to rewrite our existence. To merge the divine with the human. That is why we could not kill him. Boruto's fists trembled. Then let him go. If you respect him that much, release him. The being's expression didn't change, but the air grew heavier, denser, as if every atom was pressing against Boruto's skin. He cannot return, not yet. His transformation is incomplete. To pull him back would shatter both worlds. Boruto's kama began to react again, glowing fiercely across his arm. The mark burned as Mamoshiki's voice whispered faintly inside his head. You fool, you've gone too far. You're standing in front of gods that even I feared. Boruto ignored him. You call yourselves gods, but you're afraid of change. My father changed everything, and I will finish what he started. The being tilted its head, almost amused. You speak like him, and yet, you do not understand. The Otsutsuki are not evil, Boruto Uzumaki. We are the architects of existence. Creation, destruction, rebirth all flow through us. Your father's soul now writes with us. Boruto's breath faltered. He's one of you? Not yet. But soon, his essence will be complete. His human form will fade, replaced by the pure light of divinity. And when that happens... The figure raised its hand again, and Boruto saw another vision, Naruto's eyes slowly losing their color, his chakra turning white, his presence dissolving into the roots of the divine tree. The mortal world will forget him. Even your memories will no longer hold his name. Boruto felt his heart crack. He could barely breathe. He fell to his knees, gripping his head, as the whispers of the realm tried to erase the image of Naruto from his mind. No. I won't forget him. I won't let you take that away. The Kama flared, burning brighter than ever before, breaking the pull of the divine energy. A shockwave of blue and gold light erupted around him, cracking the void itself. The Otsutsuki stepped back, watching with curiosity rather than fear. Interesting, one of them murmured. The hybrid resists erasure. Perhaps the human spirit truly defies the divine code. Boruto rose slowly, his eyes glowing with a light that rivaled the gods themselves. You think you control my father's fate, but I'm not leaving without him. Then prepare to face the cost of rewriting destiny. The realm around him began to shift again, collapsing and reforming at once. The air filled with divine energy, and the Otsutsuki descended like celestial titans, preparing to test the will of the boy who dared to challenge eternity itself. The return of the white flame. The realm of the gods began to collapse. The very air, if it could be called that, rippled like a shattered mirror. Boruto's power had awakened something ancient, something even the Otsutsuki hadn't foreseen. As the hybrid's Kama radiated gold and blue light, the divine fabric of the dimension screamed. Every vibration carried the voice of creation itself, reality rewriting in resistance. The Otsutsuki figures stood at the edges of infinity, watching in silence. No anger. No fear. Only fascination. The human dares to rewrite the code, impossible. The mortal language should not affect the divine script. Boruto's eyes blazed with a glow beyond chakra. It was the same light that once shined in Naruto, but refined, sharpened by years of loss and fury. You said my father's soul writes with yours, he shouted, his voice echoing through eternity. Then I'll rewrite it back. He slammed his hand into the void, and the Kama expanded, creating a seal that pulsed with divine resonance. The entire realm shuddered. Symbols began to unravel. The roots of the divine tree trembled as energy surged back into the mortal plane. But with that surge came something else, a voice, deep and resonant, speaking from the heart of the tree. Boruto, stop. You don't understand what you're doing. It was Naruto's voice again, clearer, stronger, but not the same. There was divinity in it. A tone that transcended humanity. Boruto gritted his teeth. If I don't bring you back now, they'll erase you forever. The light from the tree erupted, nearly blinding him. From within it, a figure began to emerge wrapped in chains of golden chakra and surrounded by spectral roots. Boruto shielded his eyes, shouting, "Father!" And then he saw him. But it wasn't the Naruto he remembered. The man who stepped forward had white hair that shimmered like the moonlight, and his eyes, once warm and full of fire, now glowed with divine silver. His presence felt unreal, like he was both there and beyond. Even the Otsutsuki stepped back in reverence. Naruto's body radiated the energy of the gods. The divine tree behind him pulsed as if it were alive, responding to his heartbeat. Boruto froze. What did they do to you? Naruto looked at his son, and for a moment, that old, human smile returned. They didn't do this to me. I did it for you. Boruto's mind went blank. What are you talking about? Naruto walked closer, his voice echoing gently through the collapsing realm. The Otsutsuki didn't take me by force. I stayed. Because I saw something they couldn't. The balance between human and divine. They wanted to erase what they didn't understand. I wanted to learn it. Boruto shook his head in disbelief. You let them change you? Change is how we grow, Boruto. I carried the chakra of the entire world, and that energy, that bond, couldn't just disappear. It evolved. The Otsutsuki tried to make me part of them, but in the end, I made them part of me. The void around them began to glow with golden light. The Otsutsuki forms dissolved into pure energy, merging with the radiance surrounding Naruto. Boruto took a step forward, tears welling in his eyes. Then come back home, please. Everyone thinks you're gone. Naruto smiled softly. I am not gone. Just changed. The world you left behind still needs a symbol of hope. And for that, I'll return. He placed his hand on Boruto's shoulder. The touch burned, not from pain, but from overwhelming energy. Boruto felt his body vibrate as divine chakra flooded through him, rewriting his very essence. What's happening? Your karma, it's no longer a curse, Naruto said. It's a bridge between us, between human and God. Use it wisely. The light engulfed everything. Boruto screamed as the dimension imploded, and for a brief instant, he saw his father's eyes, silver and peaceful, watching over him. Then, silence. When Boruto opened his eyes again, he was lying on the ground. Broken stone. Cracked earth. He was back in the mortal world. The sky above was clear. The war-torn land of Konoha's outskirts stretched around him. And standing a few meters away, surrounded by soft white light, was the 7th Hokage. But his chakra was different. It was calm, cold, yet impossibly powerful, divine. His hair was white as snow, and the aura around him shimmered like the surface of a star. Boruto stood, his voice trembling. Father, is it really you? Naruto turned, his expression gentle but unreadable. It's me, and something more. He looked toward the horizon, toward the world he once protected. The Otsutsuki will come again. But this time, we won't face them as humans, we'll face them as what we've become. The wind blew, scattering the dust of the fallen age. Boruto stared in awe. The Hokage, his father, had returned. But he was no longer just a man. He was something beyond. A being born from both mortal will and divine code. And as the light faded, a new legend began. The story of the white flame of Konoha, a being who carried the soul of Naruto Uzumaki and the power of the gods. Even when gods rewrite the world, a father's will never fades.